So let's say you're a paint party instructor and you're looking for an easier way to draw your canvases, or you're looking to have a unique design on each of your canvases and you don't want to have to draw every single canvas from scratch. I'm going to show you today how I make my paint party stencils, and it's super easy and you can draw as many canvases as you want with this method. So let's get into it. So for supplies, what you're going to need is paper. You can have regular letter paper or cardstock. I personally like to use cardstock because it lasts longer. Say if I'm doing more than 10 canvases, 15, 20, it lasts longer because the paper is thicker. You're going to need a black marker or a Sharpie, pencil, scissors, or a paper cutter like this, a ruler, tape, and a printer. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my design. As you can see here, I already have my design. I am using my iPad and I'm using Procreate. Once I have this sketch layer, I make another layer outlining it all in black, right? Then what I'm going to do is actually save this picture. I'm going to save my image. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website called pinetools.com. I'll put the link down below. So I'm using this website. I'm going to upload my file and I'm using this. So because my picture is going to be vertically, right over here, I'm going to select vertically. Don't embarrass me right now. And then I'm going to do split into 2. Because the canvas that I'm working on is 11 by 14 and it should fit this, right? So now I'm going to press split image down here. Then I'm going to download each one. So I'm going to view, long press, save to photos. I'm gonna go back, view, long press, save to photos, right? So now I have my 2 photos. So I'm going to go back to my photos, right? And now I'm going to print both of these. So I'm going to print both of these and it should look like this when you go to print it. Then I'm going to print. So perfect. I just got my stuff off the printer. Now you have your picture divided into 2 and I got it off the printer, right? So now what I'm going to do before I actually cut it is see if this size is good enough. So I'm going to place it like this and just kind of eye it to see. You can measure it if you want to. I like to eye it. You can put it on top of the canvas to see if it's a good size. And I'm going to show y'all. So I have my 12 by 16 canvas, right? So I'm just going to put it on top, see if it fits. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but this is kind of how I want it. I want the coffee to be right in the middle. So this is perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. If you do not have a cutter, you can use scissors and a ruler. But I have a cutter, so I'm going to use my cutter. Right? I'm going to line it up. My printer prints weird. So I'm going to cut my spaces out. So now this is what I have, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it. So what I'm going to do is just line it up. Yeah, you're just going to tape it like so, like that. Make sure it's lined up. Now, what I'm going to do is use my charcoal paper. And it's just this paper right here. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. You get charcoal paper. It should look like this in the front and this on the back. The size I have, I believe, is 8 by 10 or 8 by 12. This type of paper comes in many sizes. Get the sizes that works best for you. You see how you can angle it? So looking at mine, my charcoal paper does not cover the whole paper. So I'm just gonna put 2 pieces of paper together. And as you'll see, the bigger canvases you use, you're just gonna have to use maybe 1 or 2 pieces of paper for the stencil and for the charcoal paper. So what I'm going to do is just tape this together. So I take my charcoal paper together, and now what I'm going to do is line my stencil on top. And then cut it underneath. I know it's not straight, don't judge me. So now that I have this together, you want to make sure that your charcoal paper is on the ashy side, not the shiny side, but the ashy side. So I'm putting my stencil directly above the ashy side. I'm lining it up. And now I'm gonna put tape on it. Because I plan to use this stencil over on multiple canvases, I am going to tape the paper and the charcoal paper together first. Y'all remember off of, I think it was Bring It On 2 or 3 with Solange. And she said, watch and learn. All right, anyway. Now I have this together. So I taped these 2 together. Now I'm gonna place it where I want it to be on the canvas. So I want it to be about right here because the hand is in the corner. I want them to have space to do the background, also the table. So about right here. And if your stencil does not take up the whole paper, your stencil can take up the whole canvas. Mine doesn't. So that just means I need to be mindful, very demure, very mindful of where I'm putting the paper around. So each time I put it on, I need to make sure I'm not slapping it in the middle, but I'm putting in the edge. You can take up the whole paper if you decide to. It's up to you and how many times you know you're gonna use it. So now I'm putting my tape over here. And over here. I like to put it in places where I know it's gonna be easy for me to slightly lift it up and see where I forgot to put it. So here as well. Bada boom, bada bing. I have my stencil together. Nice and cute and aligned, sort of. But what you're going to do now to trace it is use your pencil or stylus. And the reason I have switched to using styluses is because I can find the pencil, whether it's a mechanical pencil or lead pencil, it can be too sharp. So it can cut into the paper easier. And I can do it this maybe 4 or 5 times and then it's ripped, which prevents me from like really lining it. But when I use a stencil, hopefully it'll focus. When I use a stencil, not a stencil, a stylus, you see the little ball is like less aggressive on it. So I like to use a stylus. You can use either. Don't start thinking the tools matter. They really don't matter as much. So where I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to draw over this design. Obviously in the parts where it has more tape, or any tape for that matter, you just want to press down harder because it's thicker. So you want it to go through. But what I like to do is just check first. Make sure everybody's there. Looks like it. Yep. And then you're just gonna pull it off. You have your outline canvas. Now what you're gonna do is go over it in marker. And there we have it. And then you're just gonna use an eraser to erase any of the pencil marks, well, the charcoal marks. And now we have our finished design. Isn't that so cute? Yeah, I think it's cute. But anyway, you would just use the eraser to erase anything that got there, because with the charcoal, carbon, whatever it is, sometimes it like puts marks down wherever you put pressure, even if it's not the design. So you just want to erase it. And there you have it. You have created your own design for your paint party canvases. You've made your own stencil, and then you could just repeat the same process. If you don't have a tablet and you don't want to draw it digitally and then print it out, you could also just use paper, make copies if you need to, and just cut it. Just cut it, use the same process. So thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful and you found value in it, make sure you like, comment what canvas designs you guys decide to do, and make sure you subscribe for more paint party content, life vlogs, all that stuff. All right, bye.